somebody's coming and you put your hand up, hey, back off, and they keep coming, if you once or twice, so they hear that and know. Is the Vipertek Stun Gun, and I wanted to clarify that a stun gun and a taser are different, okay? So a stun gun, you have to make physical contact with somebody, whereas a taser can shoot probes. Okay? This is a stun gun. You do need to actually touch this to somebody. You'll see there are little points, sharp points here at the top, and that is to help you penetrate through clothing so that you can make better contact with your assailant. These little silver plates here that run down the sides, those are shock plates. So that's if you're holding it, you're suppressing the trigger, and your assailant attempts to grab it or knock it out of your hands. If they make contact here, they're not going to enjoy that experience. And this is the Vipertek VTS 989 model. It does come with a wrist strap, and you are able to recharge it with the included charger. I do recharge mine about once a month. I just set a reminder on my phone, and then I will take it and just fire it off. And I'm gonna do that here in a second to show you how loud it is, just so I know that I have a good clean charge. It does come with this, and it has like a little belt loop. I personally almost never have it in here unless I'm traveling, because it doesn't do me any good if I'm walking through a parking lot and I have to pull it. What I always do though is if I'm carrying this in my hand, I do have the wrist strap on my wrist, because it is much harder to take it away from me. Even if you knock it out of my hand, I still have control of it because I have a wrist strap. There are two modes. There is a flashlight right here, which is not insanely bright, but it's bright enough to help you illuminate, like if you were to put your keys in the lock or something. And then once you push this up, you will notice that that turns red. And when that turns red, that tells you that you are clear to, if I press this trigger, this is going to fire, which I am going to do in a second, but I will give you warning so I don't scare anybody. Trigger warning, I'm going to pull the trigger. So I just want you to see and hear. Not only is that very bright in a dark room, it's very, very loud. So I'd highly recommend using this as a deterrent. So if somebody's coming and you put your hand up, hey, back off, and they keep coming, if you once or twice, so they hear that and know, you know what, maybe let me pick an easier target, or maybe tonight's not the night, I just go home. Would recommend replacing this once every 2 years or so, which if you just touch it to them, all it's gonna do is shock them and they're gonna jump back, but they're still gonna be very unhappy with you. Ideally, you need to make contact for about 3 seconds, because what happens when you press a stun gun into somebody while you're pressing the trigger is you cause a momentary interruption between their brain and their central nervous system, which causes them to lose control of their bodily movements, like their muscles, which gives you the chance to escape, which is what we want. We're not trying to hurt anybody, we're trying to protect ourselves. So, you know, push it into somebody and press and hold it there. Okay, for like 3 seconds. If you can make contact for that amount of time, you're going to incapacitate that person for at least 5 minutes and potentially longer than that, which gives you plenty of time to get to safety. I have one of these by my bed. I have one in the car. I have one with me when we go for walks at night, because you just never know. And I love that it has these little finger grips right here, because it helps me to keep, as you can see, my fingers are very firmly situated on that handle. That way, if I need to press this trigger, which is easy to do, you got to imagine that you're pressing this trigger while pushing into somebody. So being able to actually hold on to this thing is going to be important. And I did want to address, I know a lot of people have fears that if they push this in, are they going to get shocked from the shock coming out? And the answer is absolutely not. There's not going to be any shock traveling back towards you. Do keep your hands off these shock plates though. You will not enjoy that. And to the point of, you know, how many volts, how many let me just say this. This particular unit is incredibly strong. You would never want to be on the business end of this. Charge it once a month, quick rapid fire check it just to make sure you have a good charge, replace it once every 2 years. And guys, what's the best stun gun? The best stun gun is the one that you have in your hand at the time that you need it, and the one that you are most likely to fire because you're comfortable with it. Hope you guys found that helpful. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.